Hey everybody, this is Gary. We're going to get started here at the top of the hour. In the meantime, I see a lot of people telling us where they're from, which is awesome. So, yeah, you see the trend. Head on over to the chat section and let us know where you're calling in from today, so that we can make sure that we say hello. So we see Mobile, Palm Beach, Spring Hill, San Antonio, Portland, Oregon, Vancouver. All right, Vancouver, Austin, Texas, right here, Venice, Florida, Gainesville. Yeah, head on over there. Let us know where you're calling in from, and we're going to get started. Chris, I think we should get started now.
Do you think it is about that
I think
time?
it's about that
I
time.
was still playing around with my little microphone thing here, Gary, but I'm ready to start whenever you are because I know everyone's going to be super excited. And in fact, I got a major announcement slash major warning. Like it's a big alert. If I was holding a sign right now, it would be red, which is I don't know if we're going to have enough time today to be able to get through everything that I've prepared because I've been preparing this information. We've not shared what we're going to share today in the level of depth ever. And so I'm worried that this might be like an hour and 15, hour and 20-minute long presentation of information.
Well, then I say we get started. And the way we get started, let's talk about what the format is going to look like. Like Chris said, we've got a lot of information to go through today. And so what we're going to do is we're going to give you everything we got. So please take a lot of notes. And also, the reason we want you to learn how to use that chat feature over there is because as we go through this presentation and the training and the webcast today, we want you to ask as many questions as you can for clarification and just pick our brains. And then we have our team, they'll flag the questions. So then at the end of our conversation today, we'll get into some in-depth Q&A. And so with that,
Let's
I
do
say we
this.
get going.
All right. Well, Gary, here's what I wanted to do was put a stake or a flag in the ground or a stake in the ground and just remind everybody why it's so important to talk about what we're going to cover today. Because today we're going to share with you everything that we do to market a listing.
Yep.
Now, there's so many reasons to market a listing. It brings new listings back to us. It helps us command better prices for our sellers. But ultimately, it comes down to this one thing. Why should we do all of these things to effectively market a listing? It's because it's what your client wants.
And the number one thing that we give our customer,
It's what they want. Now, here's the thing. According to the National Association of Realtors, every year they go and they profile, they do a survey of home buyers and sellers. And here's the question they ask sellers every single year, which is, what do you want from your real estate agent? What is it? Prioritize what it is that you want them to do.
And it's not recipe cards.
It's not recipe cards. The number one thing year after year after year that home sellers tell us what they want is they want us to market the home to potential buyers. That's what they want us to do. And so that's why we're here today. Now, before we get into the introduction, Gary, I'm going to ask everybody to use that chat feature just this one time right now to let us know what the one thing is you'd like to take away from today's session.
Right? Yeah, this will absolutely help us tailor the presentation to what you're here for. And make sure that you get what you need out of this session. And with that, why don't we get into introductions as you let us know the number one thing that you're here for.
Cool. Well, this gentleman here to my right is Gary Kreth. Gary is a sales and business development expert. Gary's been selling real estate for 21 years. He's a 21-year top producing real estate sales veteran. In fact, Gary was on a call for a listing appointment last night. That's how active he is. At the height of Gary's career, he was going on 6 listing appointments every single week. Day in, day out, week after week, going on 6 listing appointments every single week and carrying over 50 listings at a time. And so it is that body of knowledge and experience that so much of what we're going to share with you today is coming from right out of Gary's own experience. That same experience, by the way, got him recognized by none other than Apple Computer. A case study is featured on their website featuring the work that Gary's done. He's also a commercial and residential real estate investor, and get this, even a real estate tech investor advisor. So put your bootstraps on or whatever, your seatbelt on, because Gary's going to drop in some knowledge on us today.
All right. Thank you, Chris, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. My partner here, this is Chris Scott. Chris, you have been helping realtors market their listings, lead generate for 19 years, and you are now a digital marketing expert. And in fact, Chris, you started your career as the head of the consumer marketing for Brian Buffini, and you worked side by side with him for 11 years. That's 11 years. That's a lot of years. And then he moved to Austin and ran the sales and marketing divisions for a 2-time Inc. 500 winning company. That is an enormous achievement. Now, I'm saying all of this to show you the credibility that Chris brings when we're talking about digital marketing and being that professional expert online. Now, Chris is working here with me and he's managing pages with, I think we recalculated this, it was over 260,000 fans, and he's now generating over 6,000 leads every single month for our different operations. That's who this guy is. That's the expert here. And so that's who we're going to learn from as well.
Well, I have to give you guys a quick heads up. Everything that I'm going to be sharing with you today, we're going to be talking about the 33 different points to the essentially the marketing plan, or the marketing checklist that we use to market listings. Now,
Yep.
all of this is coming right out of this tool that we use. That I'm going to go into this a little bit more later on during today's presentation, but everything I'm going to share with you is coming right out of our very own property marketing plan. So I'm just going to let you guys know that all of this is something that we document and share with our sellers. And with that, I'm just going to dive right in and go through really rapid pace, 1 through 33, all of the different things that we do. Now, here's another warning for everybody. You please pay attention to everything. I know you're already doing many of these things, and that's excellent. Some of these things you are not doing. I'm pretty sure out of all the 33, you're not doing all of them. But you should be doing really the majority of them. I'm going to be honest with you. These are all the things that we do. Now, sometimes I might skip a few of them because the importance level is a little bit lower. But for the most part, we try to do all 33 of these things. Now, here's why it's important to, even as you're taking notes, to document the things that you're already doing, is you're going to want to create your own property marketing plan, and you can begin that process by documenting all of these things. So without further ado, let's dive into the very first thing that we do, which is to post a video tour. We create a video tour of our listing. In fact, what I'm going to do, Gary, I'm just going to pop on the screen here a real video tour, because I could mention these things, but I think it's much more helpful for everybody to see, oh, this is what we're talking about here. So this is one of the listings that we sold last year, and you can see an actual property tour video here. I don't know how well it'll actually play if I try to play it, but I am going to give it a shot here and see what happens. It might take a little while to load. I don't think the sound's going to play for everybody.
No, I don't think it will either, but I think you get the point, is that we have a beautiful lifestyle video. It shows our seller actually showing up to the house. And what we did is we actually choreographed the entire thing to where the seller showed the lifestyle of the home by hosting an event at the house, and we videoed it. And this is how effective it was.
Video is so important to use. Don't underestimate the significance of using video in your marketing. In fact, there's been a ton of studies done on just the impact of the viewer on video. Facebook recently found that if somebody even just watches a few seconds, just a few seconds, that there's a very huge increase in the impact on the brand awareness. Now, some of you might be saying, I'm not ready to do all that kind of choreographing and craziness.
That's okay.
That's okay. You can actually start with just a simple video, like a SlideShare video. Now, there were days when we had companies that used to do this for us. Remember, they would take the photos and build a collage, but you can get that done for free now very easily using tools like Facebook. In fact, I'm just going to show you how easy it is to create a SlideShare video.
Awesome.
By hopping over onto our business page over here on Facebook. When you go to your business page, let me just refresh this so that it'll look like how you would look like on your business page if you were going to do this. Now, this is a business page strategy. Okay, this is not a personal profile strategy. This is a business page strategy, although I think you can technically do this from your personal profile. But when you click on photo and video, when you slide down, you'll see that there's this option to create a slideshow. And what this will do is create a video. Now you click on there, and you'll see that there's some prompts. Now, the first thing that we need to do is add a bunch of photos. So I'm just going to go in here, and I'm going to upload some photos from, let me see. Let me go in here. I know I've got lots of photos of real estate on here. So let me just go to, we'll go in here. I think I've got some stuff for our listings, and we'll stick with that one same property. You know what? I'm going to go back to one where I've got more photos of that. I think I got them in here. And so let's just drop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and click open. Now watch this, guys, because it gets real easy at this point. If you got the photos all loaded, see how Facebook's going to organize all the photos there, okay? And then you're going to want to change the image duration to...
Okay, hold on. For some reason, I think you need... Okay, we see everybody. I think you need to refresh the screen share because they can only see us. So give us a second. I think maybe that video, when we
That
launched
might have
that
messed it
video,
up. Okay.
that may have done that. So yeah, we see it. Hold on, folks.
All right, here we go. Let me hit the share again.
So as he shares, if you don't mind, just let us know that you can see his screen again.
And what I'll do is I think I'll start over, because if it wasn't sharing, then you guys didn't see what I was doing, right?
Gloria says, so this is really live. This is really live.
It really is, Gloria.
Yep, they can see it now. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, yeah. And by the way, because this is very demonstration based, I'm going into our real Facebook stuff. You know, I'm showing you real stuff. That might happen from time to time. That's very normal. So if it does, just let us know through the chat feature saying, hey, you dropped offline.
Okay.
All right, so here's what I was, what you're gonna do is when you click on here to share, you click on that photo and video, and then there's this create slideshow option. I'll even zoom in there for you guys to see it a little bit better. So when you click on that create slideshow option, this will create a video. You can add up to 10 photos to this. So let me go in here and click on upload photo. And we'll just grab this one that I have from the same listing. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Click on open. Here's what it's going to do. It's going to automatically start loading all of those photos and prepare them to make a video. Okay.
Well, I did it fast too.
Oh, it's quick. It's quick. Like, now here's a couple of things. Here's a few things you want to consider. You can change the aspect ratio. Let's say we wanted to have it like square, right? Because maybe it's going to go on Instagram perhaps, or maybe we want it to look like a Facebook ad, like a rectangle like that. I'm actually going to go with the square this time because I usually don't do it that way. Here's a very important part. You can preview this here by clicking on the video. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to want the image duration to be about 3 seconds. I got 10 photos, 3 seconds. How long is the video?
I'm going to go with 30 seconds.
Exactly. The other thing that I would suggest that you do is change this transition to a fade. Okay, don't use the none, otherwise it's really choppy. The fade is going to make it fade from one photo to the next. It's going to add a nice transition to it. Now, here's the thing. You can also add music to this. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear the music. I can't.
I don't think so.
I'm not going to be able to. When you do this, heck, we're in Texas, so I'm just going to add some blues and country music to it. You can see the preview of what it's going to look like. You can, if I were playing this, you would be able to hear the music. All right. Pretty cool, eh?
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. And then what you do is you just click on create slideshow. In fact, I'm just going to do that right now. And then you can see that it's created the slideshow, and now I can actually post this video. I can even download this video, by the way. So I can post this on Facebook, I can download it, and I can repurpose it. So, you know, if video is not your thing yet, start easy. Start with doing something like that, because something is better than nothing, okay? But gosh, we got so many more things to go, and I'm just going to move on very quickly to the second thing, right? That was only the, oh crap, Gary, that was only the first point. Yeah. All right, so the second thing is use professional photography and staging. I'm not going to dwell too long on here. The picture tells 1,000 words. The one picture on the left is a dingy one photo, and ironically, the picture on the right is the same house, same room.
You can staging. And by the way, this is an expired listing that I took.
Yes.
Because the house didn't sell because it was marketed with photos like that on the left. I went in, we got staging done, we got professional photography. It sold within 2 days.
And that just shows you the difference of a professional, good lighting, little staging, better quality angle, and you get that thing sold, because no one wants to go see that dingy little dark room, right? That just, and the funny thing is, it's the same, it's actually the same couch.
Right.
All right, so enough on that point. Here's another thing I strongly suggest that you start using is drone photos and video.
Here's what's really interesting, Chris. When I first started using drone photos and video, it cost me almost $3,000 per house.
I remember that.
Now, you can, it's such a commodity now. You can get professional photography and drone photos and video for under $500.
Yeah. And I mean, heck, don't you have your
I have my own drone.
You have your own drone and certificate to do so. So you might, you know, even for a hobbyist, you can even do that. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. This is definitely something that we use when we do more of our higher end listings. This is something that we do. We're not going to do it for, you know, our investment properties that we're selling and things of that nature. So this is definitely something where the aerial footage is going to complement that listing and not. But one of the really cool things about a drone is just the different types of angles that you can get with that video. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You don't even have to do an
beautiful.
aerial shot. It's like you get that, and then you go right over the house like that time. Like we've got somewhere, it's like it approaches the house and goes right over it. So
Yep.
very, very, very cool. The fourth point you're going to want to use is make sure that you're using professional copywriting techniques. All right, so I know a lot of us are guilty of this. We take one listing and then we just copy from another one and then change a few things like All right, I totally understand. Let me give you, I mentioned that we're going to, you should use professional copywriting techniques. Let me just share with you 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 techniques for you guys to use. The first one is to show people an advantage by appealing to human desires. What do I mean by that? Well, you could describe a property as being lakefront property, like in your narrative for that listing.
That's fact.
That's a fact. Or you could tell a story with that fact. Instead of saying lakefront property, you can say the envious looks on your friends' faces as they look out your lakefront view at your first housewarming party.
So you see how that evokes like emotion. It's very enticing. It tells a story. It's what we like to call lifestyle marketing.
So I mentioned that you're going to appeal to human desires. Here are 10 triggers for basic human desires. Take a snapshot because I'm not going to spend too much time here. But here's what they are: money and a better job, security in old age, popularity, praise from others, more comfort, social advancement, improved appearance, personal prestige, better health, and increased enjoyment. So when you put that as like take each feature, lakefront property, and ask yourself, which one does this apply to, right? And which one can I write from? And then use that and just speak from that. Another tip for you to use it when you're creating marketing is don't be general. Be really specific. Don't say close to downtown restaurants and shops. Say only 1.4 miles from downtown and restaurant and shops.
Close is subjective.
Close is subjective. I live in the country. Close for me is like 20 minutes away. You live downtown, close is 2 minutes away, right? So it's very subjective. But 1.4 miles away, that's a fact, right? And it's a very specific fact, so that I read that. I'm actually more inclined to read it and understand it when I see that special or that specificity. One more professional copywriting tip is to use power words.
Power words. Okay, so what do you mean by that?
So we are programmed, right? So we're all programmed to recognize different words just by growing up. It's not like somebody programmed us. It's just by watching media and consuming TV and so on and so forth. There are words that in our current culture have, like if we're the 1800s, it would have been a different set of power words. But it is 2018, and these are the current power words that you want to include throughout your copy. Don't make every single thing a power word, but you'll notice that if you were reading and you saw the word announcing is going to stand out from the page. And so are all of these words, by the way. They're going, when someone's reading it, it has a way of like injecting a little bit of emotion into it, even though they're not emotional words themselves. They're powerful because
like one up here, it says miracle. Miracle, that's like that evokes emotion.
There's emotion. You don't have to describe what a miracle is. Like there's an immediate understanding of what it is and how I might benefit from it, right? And so that's why these power words are very useful. And so if you were to do nothing else other than be more specific, think from that basic humor trigger standpoint, and try to use a few power words, you'll be writing better copy. Another thing to use, this is the 5th point, is to use a lifestyle map.
So this is number 5 of 33.
Yes, this is number 5 of 33. I'm going to try and pick up the pace here, Gary, because I know we got a lot to cover still. But let me show you what a lifestyle map looks like. It's actually a really engaging piece to put on your property landing page, which is another thing that we'll be talking about. And here it is, right? So this is an example. And why is this important? Because
well, number one is you need to be able to give buyers what they want. They're buying a lifestyle. And so you need to show them, demonstrate to them what the lifestyle is like when they move into that house. And so what we're talking about is what is nearby, what is in close proximity that might be enticing to buyers.
And what it does, by sharing that lifestyle, it creates context for the address.
Yes, that's really interesting.
So, all right, we see the address for this house is on 1103 Monroe Street, and I see these beautiful photos, and that's very important, by the way. But then I'm scrolling down, there's a wonderful video, but you see a map, and you're like, well, oh, that's where that is. Right. Oh, look, that's really close to this, and that's really close to that. So that's a very important part of telling the full story of a listing.
And by the way, if you don't know what the lifestyle points are around the house, ask your client.
Ask your client, right? In fact, you could ask them, ask them and put it on a video and do a seller interview video.
And I love this point because what you're doing is you are you're really learning from the homeowners about what it is that they love about the home and the neighborhood and the lifestyle. Plus, this adds another human element that home buyers actually get attracted to and attached to.
This next one I'm going to share with you guys is not necessarily going to get the home sold, but it is free marketing to your client's sphere of influence.
Yeah.
And so what you do is you provide them with a digital flyer marketing that listing and just share it with them. Say, hey, go ahead and share this with the friends and family. No, you never know who might be interested in buying your home. In fact, the people who buy your home are probably going to be a lot like you.
This
right?
is really, really powerful because what you're doing is you're utilizing your client's network to get exponentially more exposure to your listing.
So
now you mentioned you use Canva for this.
Canva, this is a free tool, by the way. So this is free. Go to canva.com. You just come in here.
That is, by the way, Canva.
Yep.
V is in Victor.
And then what we're going to do is we're just going to create a they actually have a real estate flyer type. So we're just going to create a real estate flyer. And what's great about Canva is all the preloaded templates. So you can come in here, you can choose a template. It literally,
a lot of them are free. Some
the template. Well, actually, the templates are free. The photos are what you pay for. But it's our listing, so I'm going to upload our photos and just drop them in there. So I'm not going to have to pay for anything.
Look how easy that is.
Oh.
That drag and drop feature is incredible.
Let me get that in there. Let me get that one in there. Oops, I got the same photo in there. Let me get that one in there. All right, so here's the way you're going to have something nice. And by the way, it's not like it has to have everything about that property in this flyer. It just have the important stuff. Like, what would be the important stuff? Well, our brand name, that would be important, right? So they're sharing it with their friends and family.
Right, yeah.
I want them to be like, oh yeah, that's who that's with. Maybe you have some brand colors. For me, that yellow's not working. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a white there with let's change the color of this guy and turn that into, and we'll go with blue this time.
Nice.
And then I can rearrange this just a skosh by making the spacing a little bit different. Now you can see very quickly I'm able to make something that looks pretty good, okay? And I haven't really done much. I can come in here and I can drop some more additional information. In fact, I already have that one. Where was that? Right, let me close this out. And I think when I created this flyer, maybe it took me 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, because you already have the narrative from your marketing narrative. You have the photos.
And here's
the tool.
Here's the very important thing to do. Boom, boom, boom. Since this is a digital flyer, remember, the emphasis on digital flyer, there's a hyperlink.
Yeah, so what they'll be able to do is open up this digital flyer, click on that hyperlink, and what does it do? It redirects them to the landing page that has all the information, all the photos, the video, the lifestyle map, and calls to action.
Yep. So this is real, if you have the goal of duplicating your listings, meaning take a listing that you have and make more listings, then using things like this is a very powerful way, because what that does is that taps into your client's network of potential referrals.
Yep.
Right. So now they're getting a chance to see what you're doing for them. And what are they going to say? I don't think my agent did that for me last time.
Well, of course not. I mean, here's what's really exciting about this is this technology. As you stay on top of this technology and tools, we were talking about this earlier, is the technology and the tools, as you stay on top of it, what happens is that you will constantly be introducing new and innovative tools like this to your clients. And the last time they sold a house was at least 3, 5, 7, 10 years ago. And this technology probably was not being used, and it's changed. So yeah, of course it's new.
So that's very effective. Like I said, that one is more for being able to access your client's network so that you can get potential referrals. Yeah. It is also a good marketing method. I shared with you a property landing page on your website. I think I already have that one pulled up. Yeah. I can't tell you how important this is to have a property landing page on your website. This becomes the hub of your marketing and promotion.
Yes.
Unless you have a hub to bring all the traffic to, you're actually sending that off to all these other places. So if you wanted to make an investment, let's say in running an advertising campaign to market this listing, which I'm going to show you guys how to do that in just a moment, you're not going to benefit from that investment. And even if you only spent $20, $30, $50 on marketing the listing using some cool advertising tools I'm going to show you, it's not going anywhere for you to be able to benefit from people coming to this site, asking questions about the listing, and being able to potentially even generate more leads from it, right? And so you have to have this hub of communication so that when people have an interest, they can go and take the next step. Now, when you create a property landing page, the 9th point on here is to take the time to optimize it. Now, this is only an important one if you hope to get your landing page to show up on the top search results for Google when somebody searches for that address.
Which, by the way, I think that is one of the whole points of having that landing
it's
page.
It's definitely a huge plus. I mean, you got to make sure you don't syndicate that listing to the world before you do that. You need to have your own landing page out there. Here's a couple of SEO tips though. Make sure the page title includes the address. Make sure the page URL or file name includes the full address of the property, and then have that address in the H1 heading tag. If you don't know what I'm talking about, have your web person make sure they do this for you. Another thing is within the photos, make sure that the alt tags, again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, have your web person do this. Your alt tags for each photo should have the address within the alt tags. What that means is when the little bots index the page, it's going to know exactly what this page is about. It's about this freaking address is what we're telling them. But it's not keyword stuffing, meaning that it's not just dropping the address all over on the page. It's hidden in all the meta tags of the page. So we drop some high-level content, important stuff like the price and bedrooms and baths. We have that narrative from the professional copywriting techniques, and then make sure we have calls to action. And then what you'll see that we include on our property landing pages is as often as we can, we put a video. The name of the video is also important. That's why the address is in the name of the video. And then we have a mapped location. That's that lifestyle map. But important here is that it's a mapped location. So the mapped location tells Google, oh, look at all this information about this specific address. This page must be about this address.
And this is important because Google needs to deliver what people are searching for. So when you go to Google, the reason you get really accurate results there is that Google wants to give you as much information about your search as possible. And this makes Google happy, and whatever makes Google happy makes us happy.
There is a big last step we have to take if we're really trying to get this to show up on Google. One of the big steps that we have to take is to get early visitors to the website. Okay. And actually, point number 10 is to send an email to your database.
Because who's most likely going to click through and see the stuff that you're listing? People who already know, like, and trust you.
So notice the power word there, announcing new Bowdoin Creek listing coming soon.
Nice.
All right. And so what that does is people who click on this will go to the website. And what it's going to do is it's going to give some traffic history to Google to say, Google's going to say, oh, well, this is what this page is about. And look, there's people visiting this page, so it must be an authority on it. And one of the things I like to do is run a little coming soon campaign.
So number 11, running a coming soon campaign.
Now, if you can't do coming soons in your MLS and in your area, it might be a just listed campaign, but like right away. In Texas, we can do a coming soon campaign. And here's what a coming soon campaign is. We take all these different traffic sources.
Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or I'm sorry, Instagram and Google.
And send it to that property landing page that we had, okay? Here's a very specific example of that where we have a Facebook advertisement.
Right.
So I'm talking about not just putting it on Facebook. I'm actually talking about running a Facebook advertisement here. But running that Facebook advertisement and marketing to people who are like the people that would want to purchase this home and then taking them to the landing page.
So if you can get that traffic before it hits the MLS and gets syndicated everywhere, Google is going to say, oh, you're the authority here, which is going to help you rank.
So those are all those steps. Now, here's the thing. I would do these things even if you can't get it ranked first, right? I would do these things because it's also going to build that history up. It's also after, like, it stops indicating when people search for that address, your site will start to pop up. So it's very important to follow these practices. And by the way, if you're not getting thousands of people viewing your listings during the time that you're selling it, then I would say
you're doing something wrong.
You're definitely doing something wrong. In fact, I was just looking at this the other day. I was trying to calculate how many thousands of people will typically view a listing over the multiple campaigns that we're going to run. And it's like 5,000 to 6,000 people are going to see the typical listing just through our own efforts. Right?
By the way, what we're doing here is we're fulfilling that number one need that home seller wants from us, according to NAR, and that is they want us to market their listing to buyers.
So I will do a bunch of variations on that coming soon campaign. So in addition to a coming soon, we're going to run a just listed, right? So here's another example of a Facebook ad doing the just listed campaign version of that. Another version of that is running an open house campaign. Right?
Yes, absolutely. So every single listing that I take, we're hosting an open house.
Mhm.
We run an open house campaign to drive more traffic to that open house page and to drive actual
Foot
foot
traffic.
traffic to that house.
Well, here's a stat that you guys may not be aware of, that 76 of people who bought a home in the last year, 76% after viewing the listing online, 76% went to go view it in person. That's a lot of people. So of the people who bought in the last year, if they viewed a listing online, 76% of them went to go check it out.
So what that says is that the more eyeballs I can get on that listing, the more showings I'm going to get.
And I'm not talking about breaking the bank. So I'm using Facebook ads.
That was a question somebody asked, is how much are you spending?
Okay. Well, in this actual ad, right? So this was a real ad that I ran. We spent $45 and it reached 4,075 people.
Man, so here's what's really huge about this is that you can share these statistics with your client to show them how much traffic you're generating for them, which is going to produce higher levels of satisfaction. They're going to believe that you're more competent, which will increase your referability.
So then after the coming soon, I do a little hot listing campaign. This is just that part of that ongoing marketing, right? So, at this point, it's already syndicated. People are looking at it, but I just like to keep it forefront and constantly remind people. And I will even include this advertisement to people in our database. Like, I want people in our database to see this ad.
Well, gosh, why is that, Chris?
Well, because it shows them evidence that we sell homes.
And then, so when they're ready to sell their house,
who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters?
Kreth and Scott.
All right.
Little side note, I don't know if you can see it, but notice how I have those little emojis in that hot listing. If you guys, I would strongly suggest that you start utilizing emojis in your marketing. Here's just one study found that emojis in a Facebook post can increase the number of likes by 57%. I will share with you in emails in the subject lines, like emojis evoke a response.
Yes, they do.
It's an emoticon. I mean, it's designed to communicate in a level of emotion. And because of I don't know what it is, they're the people will look at it to discern what it is. It's just one of those things. When people see an emoji, they look at it to see what it is, and that's part of the reason why it gets higher engagement. All right, moving along. I'm at number 15 now, so we're almost halfway, Gary.
Awesome.
We're almost halfway. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one. Just post it on your Facebook business page. Okay?
Do not post this on your personal page. You must post it on your business page and then share it to your personal page.
This is different than using the advertising platform, which I'm going to dive into that a little bit further, but definitely post it on your business page. It's good stuff to have on there. Another thing for you to do is research and make sure you have a Facebook group of local agents that you can share this with. Gary, here's a post that you just did the other day.
Yep.
July 16th, actually, whatever day. Today's August. So Gary posted this one for one of our listings.
Engaging the other realtors on those private Facebook groups is really important because you're getting the properties out there before they hit the market. I just said, please PM me to schedule lists, to schedule showings. And so it's just a really powerful way to get that in front of other realtors before it hits the MLS.
Here's something that you may not have tried yet, which is using the Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
I actually have to pull this one up because a lot of people don't even know that it's a thing, right? So let me go pull up Facebook. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll leave that right there, and I'm going to open up a new instance of Facebook. And hopefully I don't crash my computer. So I'm going to open up a new instance of Facebook. Now, one of the things you'll notice on Facebook is over here, there's this thing called Marketplace. So you just click on Marketplace, and there's a lot of cool stuff in here. If you do this right now, you'll probably get yourself distracted. Like, oh, look, check these weights out for sale.
I actually sold an old iPhone on Marketplace for $400. It went like that.
Well, look at this. We've got housing. Oh, what's under housing? Let me set a minimum price because everyone's going to be like, well, is that only like, people who, is that not people who are going to be able to afford homes? It's like, no, it's actually, it works. So this is just the Austin area, and you can see that there's actually lots of high-end listings even being marketed through Facebook. And you know what? You're not spending any money to put this stuff in here.
Awesome.
Isn't that nice? A nice little free promotion from Facebook. Thank you. I'm sure that won't last long, but still, it's a cool tool to use. Moving along very quickly, post on Craigslist. Here's an important thing with Craigslist is that make sure it's photos of that property, and then put the link to the URL as at the very top, and then have the instructions. Here's important: copy and paste this link into a browser. to see more photos, because you can only put a handful of photos in a
Right.
Craigslist listing.
Yep.
And I hear this all the time. People are like, well, who even uses Craigslist? Everybody.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible. We get so much exposure through
Mhm.
Craigslist. And Craigslist used to be a really, really hot thing. And then everybody started saying, well, it doesn't work anymore, which means that your competition is no longer using it.
Here's why people say it doesn't work anymore, because people started spamming it.
Right.
Right. So now there's a lot of rules. If you use it the way, if it's just like any tool, if you use the tool the way it was intended to be used, you will be rewarded. So if you don't go put a bunch of spammy crap onto Craigslist, you actually have people, like if you put a legitimate headline that's been well written that describes that property with good photos and a link to go, I mean, people are going to see that and like, oh, it's not all spammy crazy stuff, let me see what that's all about. Right. So very important. And then just one more place, remember what we're trying to do and I'm going to show you guys this in a little bit, as we start to wrap up the conversation, is how to use this to your advantage in communicating with a seller, your competitive advantage, the differentiation.
Yes,
that you
because
have.
if we just do this, that's great. But unless we communicate it with our sellers, it's not as effective.
Right. So I'm going to just bundle these three together, post on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. Okay. These are also, maybe you're not on all of these. I'll be honest, I don't use Twitter anymore, but I
Right.
still have it on here. Pinterest sometimes, Instagram definitely.
Yeah.
Out of all three of these, I would say Instagram is the most important one to do it.
Why is that?
Because everybody's there. It's owned by Facebook. It uses the Facebook advertising platform. Like it's just,
And it gets 58 times the engagement that Facebook
does. Yes, it does. And I'm going to share more on that in just a moment.
Oh, sorry.
So here's another thing to do is post video on YouTube. I shared with you guys how to create a video. If you don't have somebody able to do that video for you, post that video on YouTube. People will say, do people use YouTube anymore? And I'm going to tell you straight up right now, 1 billion hours a day of video are being watched on YouTube, which is more than Netflix and Facebook combined. More people are watching video and hours of video every single day than Netflix and Facebook.
And this takes us back to the importance of video that you were talking about in the, like, I think that was step number one.
Yeah.
Like video is really, really, really important. And by the way, this is not like a flat trend. It's going like, it's an upward trend.
It might be harder for us to see it, but you look down a generation or two generations and you can see that the majority of their consumption is not on that traditional device that we think of as the TV, and it's not even watching news, or it's not watching TV at all. It might be watching some subscription services, but there's a ton of just super niche content on YouTube that's being viewed. And so that's just like a changing, that's not just a short-term trend, that's a change in consumer behavior. And so when you're looking at that many hours of video being watched, we have to be there. Another tool that oftentimes gets overlooked but is super powerful is Google Ads. Right? People, I know why, because people oftentimes look at Google Ads and say, oh, that's too hard. It's gotten a lot easier. It's gotten so much easier. In fact, to do an ad that looks just like this to market a listing takes, 5-10 minutes to do it after you go through the first time. But you can ensure then, and what's going to happen is when people search relative terms, there's actually, your listing will be marketed just like that.
And
you see on your
just think
screen
about
there.
what the seller's going to think when you're saying, I have this 33-point marketing plan, and this is what it looks like.
But I'm not done yet. In fact, I like to also point out the use of YouTube ads. In fact, this is my favorite ad type right now. I love Facebook because it's so easy and it's so effective. And my new tool that I'm really into is using YouTube ads. You want to know the main reason why?
Why is that?
Let me just show you a reason why. So like for $30, 1,700 views.
Wow.
People watching 63%, on average, 63% of that video.
And that's powerful because you get a brand impression. You talked about that earlier, is you're getting massive brand impression there.
And so here's the thing, people, and YouTube is it's using Google's platform for being able to create ads, but it's really powerful and it just works. Here's another one to use. Make sure you're using Facebook ads. It works super effective. Like the one you see on your screen here, they have so many powerful formats to be able to engage that client. And here's the thing, you can make sure people who are interested in the real estate are going to see this, right? So This is going to look familiar because I showed this to you earlier when we were talking about the Just Listed campaign and the Coming Soon campaign. But here's a Facebook ad unit, and it's going to that property landing page. Now, when we use this in this specific ad, so this one's different than that open house ad that I ran. This one I spent $40 and got 2,547 people to view this advertisement. Now, oftentimes people say, "Gosh, let me make this clear. You're running an ad on Facebook. You're actually running an ad on Facebook, and we're marketing it to a very certain group of people." Okay, so there's been a lot of changes taking place on Facebook. I'm going to show you right now who to market this to on Facebook. So you go into Facebook Ads Manager, like you see on my screen. You click on that little audiences button there, or that audience link. From there, it's going to bring you to this thing called the Asset Library, where you can manage your audiences. You're going to create what's called a lookalike audience. What is a lookalike audience? Lookalike audience is simply this. You can tell Facebook to go make a list of people to market to for you.
That's awesome. So you don't have to create the list.
No.
They have the list, and they'll do it for you.
And here's what's even more awesome. You can upload a list of your clients and say, go make a list of people like my clients, right? So we create lookalike audience. I select the source as being Gary's database. We uploaded that into Facebook.
Yep.
We select the general location. We tell them the audience size, and then we click audience. And then lo and behold, we now have 2.1 million people who are just like Gary that we can market to.
2.1 million people that you're advertising to.
Now, I always have to narrow that down just to people in Austin, because when you first create that lookalike audience, it's people all over the country. But so when you do the targeting, it's still a crap ton of people who are just in that Austin area, because part of that lookalike audience is based on Gary's database of people who are in where? Austin, Texas.
Yep.
Right. So later on, I'm going to show you how you guys can actually get access to our Facebook Marketing for Real Estate program. But I got to keep moving. I can't talk about it now because we won't have enough time to talk about everything that we got to cover today. Another thing to do is make sure you're running mobile ad placement. So when you're using tools like Facebook, make sure you are running them for placement on mobile devices. That includes things like Instagram, but specifically like you see this mobile advertising unit here. Why is this so important? Here's why.
56.5% of Facebook users only log in from a mobile device, which, by the way, with the exception of me looking at ads, like our ads on Facebook, I am solely on my mobile device.
Well, check this out. 63% of website visits are done via mobile device. I mean, so we have to, and this number continues to shift. More and more and more, we have less people using our desktop devices to be able to surf the web, look at listings, so on and so forth. So we have to be creating the advertising in a format that's easily digested on the tool that they're using. So make sure you're using those mobile advertising placements. Here's another one. Run Instagram ads. I said to place on Instagram, but actually run an Instagram ad as well. You see an example of the one seen on your screen here. Why is Instagram so important to do this? Gary mentioned it.
Well, it's because it's 58 times more engagement per follower than Facebook. And here's what's fascinating. 120 times more than Twitter. In fact, there's over 1 billion users on Instagram now.
I know. You just shared that stat with me, and I was like, I knew there was 800
million. It went from 700 million to 800 million, and then
bang. No, it is the second largest, fastest growing, but second largest social media platform out there, right next to Facebook, and Facebook owns them. In fact, if you're using Facebook ads, you don't need to create Instagram ads. You can just select Instagram ads as a placement for your Facebook.
You create a Facebook ad, and then with one click of a button, you say, put this on Instagram as well.
See, that way you don't have to worry about trying to do something twice. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just like everybody else. I want to be able to get as much done with as little effort as possible. So if I can just get all the things done, if I can have mobile placements, if I can have Instagram ads, and I'm just using this Facebook advertising tool to do so, heck, I'm getting all the stuff that I need done, getting it in front of the right people, but spending a heck of a lot less time actually doing it. Here's what I want to do. I'm not going to spend very much time going into these other 33 because I want to be able to talk about how to use this in a property marketing plan to convince your sellers why they need to work with you.
And all of this, everybody here is already doing.
So, but you do want to write these down because these are things that should go. You know, you want to throw your kitchen sink in your property marketing plan when you're communicating to sellers. So, you know, it's going to get listed in the MLS. You're going to put it. It's probably, if your MLS has a website, it'll probably go on there. You're going to, I suggest, out of the home search sites, at least consider realtor.com. Maybe look at some of the other ones. You are going to put a sign in the yard. I hope you have a sign in the yard for your sake, not just, I mean, for your sake. And then even open house signage when you're doing that. But all of these things, all 33 of these things come down to, yes, we're going to do a really good job. And when we have that listing, we want to do that good job. But Gary, you are the person who are in our real estate business has to go get the listings,
Yep.
and you have to impress the sellers, and it's more competitive now than it ever has been. But they could take what they're doing to market the listing and turn that, like jujitsu style, turn that in a way to like impress the sellers.
Yes, and that's the whole key, is that with all these 33 points, if we're not communicating this to our seller, do they believe that we're doing it?
Well, they don't know that we're doing
They
it.
don't know that we're doing it. And so we must communicate this to our seller. And the very best way to do that is to document it and share it with them through your 8-week marketing plan.
Yeah. Or maybe for you it's 12-week or whatever the case may be. People always say, well, my listing sells in 4 days, in 5 days.
Doesn't matter.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because what this does, this shows that you have a very comprehensive approach. This is what we call a property marketing plan. And it literally, I think ours is about 10 pages or something like that. And it just documents everything that we're going to do.
Absolutely.
Right? It tells it in a different story than just like the 33 points. Because unfortunately, you guys know when we shared with you those 33 points in the marketing checklist, you guys knew what those things were.
Yes.
But if you just say, hey, here's the 33 bullet points of what I do, it's not really communicating. The client doesn't know what it is. And here's the problem. You could say it, but if you don't say it in a way that they understand it, it's like you said nothing at all.
Yeah, and it's much more powerful and impressive to be able to share the details of what you're going to do every single week. You see, this is a 10-page document. Instead of having a 1-page with 33 points, no, we're going to break it out week by week. Not only does this help the seller understand the value that we're bringing to this partnership, but it helps us stay on track of what we need to do every single week.
Now, can you share that story? Because you've used this, a couple of things. One is, if you could answer the questions, when do you provide this to your seller?
Okay.
And then how has that worked for you?
So I share this with my seller 2 different times. Number one is I share it with them as soon as I get off the phone during our initial phone consultation. I send this to them in advance of our listing appointment because I want to differentiate myself and I want my seller to understand everything that I'm going to do, because as they're meeting with other agents, I need them comparing us.
But time out, Gary. What if they take your property marketing plan and give it to somebody else and they start doing it?
Fantastic. Although I don't think most agents are going to do it.
They probably can't implement it.
They might not be able to implement it because they don't have the information education that I have to do it. Another time I share this with my clients is when we're at the listing appointment. I say, hey, now I wanted to make sure that you reviewed our 8-week marketing plan because it has details, line by line details of absolutely everything that we're going to do in order to market and sell your house. Do you have any questions about that?
So by doing this, you're clearly differentiating again with somebody else. It's funny, Gary, you were talking with a new client that we're going to market the listing for, and one of the things that they mentioned was, I wanted to share with them. They said, yeah, we definitely want you to market the listing, but we might work with somebody else to buy the next home.
Yeah, they had already talked to another agent about buying another house, and I was like, well, that's interesting.
Right. Well, here's what I think is interesting is they already knew they wanted to work with you to sell the home.
Exactly.
Right?
Now I just need to convince them to use me to buy the other
Which
house.
we have strategies for that. He's going to offer them his move up buyer program, which gives them a really compelling reason to do so. But I think what's important there is you're known as somebody who can get that house sold.
Absolutely.
Right?
So he said, no matter what, I'm working with you to market and sell my house. And now as I meet with him, we have a listing appointment tomorrow morning at his house. When we meet with him, we're going to take him through absolutely everything we're going to do to market and sell his house. And I believe at that time, we're going to wow him so much. He's like, yeah, I'm not working with another buyer to help me or another agent to help me buy the house.
But so what, and you've even used this to compete, right? So you send it in advance, because if you email it in advance in the very beginning stages of the conversation, if they're going to meet with somebody else, they're like, well, no one else.
They're not doing this. And even though the other agent may be doing these things, if they don't share it in a very concise way like this, then the client does not believe that they're doing that.
Yeah. I do have a question for you guys. What are some of the things that you're doing to market listings? I mean, how many of the 33 are you doing? Did you keep a record of those? I would be curious to know. Use that chat feature. In the meantime, I've got another question, and that is, would you like the templates from today's training?
I'm looking in the notes here in the chat section. Everybody's like, how do I get this?
Okay, well, here's the thing. I mentioned that we've got some cool stuff to be able to offer. We actually offer our 8-week marketing plan as a bonus gift when people join our club. So normally our property marketing plan is like $597. But when you join our club today, you can start listing like a boss, and you'll get our property marketing plan template for our 8-week property marketing plan template for only $67. So you might be asking, what the heck is your club? And our club is going to give you access to our real estate training library. We've got hundreds of topics and solutions covered in there. Really important ones that you're going to probably care about right now is, how do I run a just listed campaign with ads on Google? And how do I create and promote my YouTube channel? But like, those are the types of topics. There's hundreds of topics in there. I just picked 2 that were relative to today's training. But we have everything from just listed campaigns on Google AdWords to how to create YouTube channel. In addition to our training library, you're going to get a digital marketing campaign every single month to be able to ramp up your stream of leads and listing appointments. Very important. Here's what's included when you get that marketing campaign from us every month. You're going to get a blog post. It always centers around a specific theme. You see this one, the Home Buyer's Guide to Getting Mortgage Ready. There's a PDF report that you can send out as an email, with an email, sending that out to folks. You can even print this out and give it to people if you'd like. There's a prospecting email that you can use. There's a Facebook post, a Pinterest and Instagram post. There's even a phone script included in that monthly campaign so that you can communicate with your entire database, provide them value, and to be able to stay in touch. I think that's one of the biggest challenges we have. We all know we're supposed to market to our database. That's the best source of business that we can get, particularly for getting listings. However, the issue that we have is we just don't have enough time in the day to get it all done. So that's why we do it for you with our monthly marketing campaigns. It even includes a marketing website for you when you join our club. There's a marketing website where we post a blog post for you every single month. In fact, the marketing website looks like the one that I showcased here. This is Gary's. So you can see we'll post a blog post for you every month. So it's always up to date. You can market your listings. If you don't have a website from which you can market your listings, you can use this to upload your listings and market them and create really cool property landing pages. And it only takes you a couple minutes to do so. In addition to that, you're going to get access to Gary, myself, and our entire team on live training sessions. We cover everything from technology to marketing to sales to online marketing. We've got so many clients that provide great reports back to us on their success. We had Will, who shared with us, great session. This was from one of our trainings. He said, I can't thank you enough. Our business has already more than doubled since joining the Paperless Agent. And that's the kind of stuff we love to hear. When you join our club, if it's not the right fit for you, 1, you get to keep that property marketing plan. 2, you can easily cancel online, hassle-free, no questions asked. There's no contract. There's no commitment when you join our club. I am going to throw in as a bonus gift today our Facebook marketing for real estate when you join the club today. So you're not only going to get that 8-week marketing plan, property marketing plan, you're also going to get our Facebook marketing for real estate program. It's going to show you everything you need to use for that Facebook ad platform. There's Facebook advertising templates. There's checklists, how to do just listed campaigns, open house campaigns, lead generation ads, messenger ads, branding ads, referral ads. I mean, everything you need to be able to start using Facebook as a marketing tool in your business, not just as something where you're posting information, but something where you're actually leveraging the advertising platform to get that information to the right people. And then when you join our club, I've got one last bonus gift that I'm going to throw in there today, which is our 30-day our sales action plan summary. This is only available today when you sign up for the club. But what's included in here is 30 days of activity for you to start generating that, start immediately filling your pipeline and start immediately getting more people to work with. And who couldn't use a few more clients to work with? I know we're always looking for listings. We're looking for listings, and even though the inventory might be tight, we're also looking for buyers that we can serve as well. So we like to have a surplus.
Well, here's the thing, Chris, is I started going through this action plan. Mm-hmm. And in the past 3 days, I picked up 3 new clients.
I know, it's crazy.
And so it works. It works for me because sometimes I get busy too and I forget what I need to do. And so this helped me kickstart my business again.
You do these things and it starts to work. I mean, it's amazing how effective when you do this with consistency. And so that sales action plan is going to help you get there. In fact, Teresa reported that she wanted to say a huge thank you to the Paperless Agent team. Thank you, Gary and Jordan and Chris, the whole team behind the scenes. We actually tripled our income in 2017 over 2016. We sold over $9 million, all because we followed the Paperless Agent plan. We started doing the open houses again, and we followed the sales action plan to reignite our client contacts. We've been with another office for a long time and never had this level of marketing material. And so that's just the kind of reports we get back from our clients. You can join our club. You're going to get our 8-week property marketing plan template. You're going to get our Facebook marketing for real estate program, and you're going to get the 30-day sales action plan, all for only $67 today when you join.
All right, so here's what I did is I went over to the chat section. There is a blue button over there, and we just want to make it super easy for you to join. It is a blue button. It says Join Club Now, and all you need to do is click on that button. It's going to take you to a page where you're going to join, and then here's what's going to happen. This is the coolest part, is you're going to get an email instantly from our system. Now, this email is going to have your login information so that you can log into your coaching club platform where you're going to have access to this 8-week marketing plan template that you can download, modify, and use yourself. You're going to get access to the Facebook Marketing for Real Estate course that you can start taking immediately. And when you sign up during this webinar, you're going to get our 30-day sales action plan. That's a downloadable. You get to keep that as well. So, here's what I do want to say is that if you go to your email and you're like, I can't find my login information, it's probably in your spam folder, or if you're using Gmail, it may be in your promotions tab. Worst case scenario, if you email us at support@thepaperlessagent.com, we will absolutely make sure that we get you your login information. So like I said, all you need to do is head on over to the chat section during the remainder of our Q&A, which we're about to get to. Click on that blue button that says Join Club Now, and it'll get you instant access. By the way, we have a lot of current coaching club members on here. Deborah Davis said, very worthwhile. I've been a member since the beginning. Hey, Deborah, good to see you. That's years. You've been with us for years. John Tanner joined last week. Carolyn joined last week. Rebecca is a member. She's like, I'm a member. Where's this stuff? I need this. And Paul said the subscription is well worth the small monthly investment. Noreen said, how do I join from South Africa? Actually, Noreen, real estate in South Africa is very similar to how real estate operates here in the United States. So all you need to do is click on that link, Noreen, and I'm going to ask Rudy. Rudy, if you don't mind, make sure that you give Noreen that direct link there in the chat section. All right, so I'm going to make sure, I'm going to actually pin that to the top there. I'm going to put it back in there. People want to sign up. So go sign up right now, and we'll get to your Q&A.
Let's do this, Gary.
All righty. So Maria said, I was a member, left the biz. Now I'm back.
Yes.
Awesome. And Rebecca
back in business.
Rebecca says, best $67 each month. So much more stuff than any other plans out there. Awesome.
You know what? That back
Gloria, hold on. Gloria says the blue link is not a secure link. It actually is. It redirects you to a secure link. And you know what I'm going to do, Gloria? I'm going to get you that secure link directly so you don't have any concerns there.
Every now and then we get busy, and we get busy, and then business slows down a little bit. And then every time we get back into it, I always feel like that. We're back in business, baby. We're back. We're back. We took a little hiatus, but we're back.
That's hilarious. Elena says, I joined the coaching club 1.5 years ago. Thanks for everything, guys. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
I love hearing all of, I love it. I love hearing the success stories and knowing that we're providing you guys with something that's valuable. I mean, that's one of the things that we really strive for is consistently providing good, useful tools, good, useful templates and knowledge and, marketing and information, and doing so at a very cost-effective amount.
That's the whole thing. That's our purpose is yeah, we actually went out and we did research and said, what are other people charging when they're offering kind of some semblance of these resources? And it's like $300 or $400 a month. And we're like, that's insane. We're just going to give it to you for $67. So go sign up and let's get to questions. First question is for you, Chris. Peggy says Facebook is changing all the time with its algorithms. How does your Facebook marketing programs keep up with this?
Well, here's the thing. I run Facebook ads constantly. In fact, what I do is, we always have listings to market. I always have content to market because we're just like you. We're marketing our real estate practice, and here's what I find: is every time I encounter something different or something new, I update it in those monthly training sessions. Now, here's what I'll share with you about the algorithm: is that I don't try to game the algorithm. I find that there's over 100,000 variables that the algorithm now uses.
Wow.
So you can't game that thing, right? Like, you can't beat it. In fact, there's an artificial intelligence component to it, which means, yeah, I can try posting on Wednesdays at 12 o'clock because that's when people say it's the best time to post. And that stuff just doesn't work anymore. You want to know the thing that works? The advertising platform. You know why? Because that's Facebook. That's what Facebook wants us to do. And so when you use the advertising platform correctly, and I gave you a glimpse of it today, like, okay, we're going to create these certain types of ad units, and we're going to throw in emojis in there, and we're going to make sure we upload Gary's database and create a lookalike audience around that. Those are all some of the tactics and how to effectively use Facebook, because you can easily use it and waste money as well. I mean, I know I've spent gobs of money using Facebook.
Is that a technical term?
Gobs. I mean, to date, I've spent over $600,000 on Facebook over the last several years. So I do know what works because I spent so much money making it work. I wish I could pull that up. I can't pull up that screen just right now, but I think in other presentations I've given, I think it's close to 650 or something like that over a 5-year period. And so here's what I found. When I was just like everybody else when I first started marketing on Facebook, is I was hitting that boost post button.
Mm-hmm.
Boost, boost, boost. Guess what? Nothing, nothing, nothing. And then finally, after spending several $100s boosting posts, I was like, you know what? I got to learn how to do this. So I got training and I got education, and then I did it better. And then I started investing in really making ads that work. And that's what I found. Oh, wait, this is what works on Facebook. And that is changing, and even with the advertising platform itself, there's really cool feature updates. But what I like to dive into, okay, what marketing is working really well right now? What kind of cool stuff can I do? What kind of ad can I create that's going to get the traffic, that's going to get the leads, that's going to get us appointments, that's ultimately going to get us more business?
And that's what he's teaching you. This is what I love, is that we take everything that we're doing in our own real estate practice and we turn it around. That works. We only take the thing that works, and then we turn around and we share it with you so you can implement it as well.
There's I know I'm totally getting sidetracked, Gary. I apologize, but I wanted to show, this is an ad that I'm running right now. I had to take a screen. One of the ads that I'm running right now that I really like, it's just view Westlake homes for sale under $1 million, right? So in the Westlake area, homes usually actually more like 1.2, 1.4. And so this is just one of the ads that I'm running right now that I'm finding is working really well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So I do want to give a quick shout out to our newest members in the club. Thank you to the following members: Mel, Sarah, Maria, Ryan, Deanne, Sally, Linda, Keith, Rita, Nancy, Kim, Paul, Jonathan, Craig, Sarah, Greg, Michael, Kathy, Deborah, Amy, Patria, Cherie, Fernand, Scott, Sherry, Susan, Terry, Gloria, Miriam, Stacy, Blondine, Nina, Brenda, Joe, Michael, and James.
Hey, welcome to the club, guys.
Welcome to the club. And by the way, if I missed your name, I apologize. I'll see if I can give you a shout out in just a minute.
Hey, for you new guys, I'm going to give you a little something that I did not mention that is included in the club. I always forget to say this, and Gary's like, how come you didn't tell everyone about the private group? And I'm like, okay, I'll remember to tell the private group. So you have access to when you join the club, you'll get access to a private group, which gets a ton of traffic. Let me just go to it right now. You'll have to request to join, and then our team will make sure you remember and then let you into the group. But this is our private Facebook group. There's like thousands of people, really generous with their time and their referrals. Almost like if you go in here, almost on the daily, you're going to see people sharing referrals and exchanging business as well as best practices and what's working for them. And so definitely spend some time in here. Look, here's a referral just from 19 hours ago.
Boom.
So this is happening all the time. Definitely go in here because let's say there's a tool or a technology or even just something that, Gary and I do a lot of stuff. But we don't do everything. I mean, there's lots of technology out there that we haven't had a chance to use, but somebody in the club would have had a chance. And so that's one of the common dynamics I'll see in there is, hey, has anybody tried this tool, or has anybody tried this one? And you'll have people say, yeah, this has worked, or no, that was a waste of money for me. Or, hey, what do you think of this marketing? I think I just saw one from Leah up there about sending stuff out. So, oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, there's a good example.
That's really nice.
So anyway, yeah, definitely join the club. So for all you new guys who just joined, please join us there and check things out, because we provide, that's where you'll get access to the community of Paperless clients. That's where, because that's what it's about. We can give you information, we can give you tools, and that's awesome. But then you get into the community of folks who are all like-minded. We're all the same in this regard. We all have real estate practices that we're trying to expand and grow and do a better job in taking care of our clients. And that's who you hang out with. I'm sorry, I hijacked the thing again.
Anna says, how long is the commitment when joining? There is no contract. There is no commitment. You can join for 1 month and then cancel. You can join for 2 days and then cancel. You can be like a lot of our members who are still joining us today on this call, who have been with us for over 5 years. So it's totally up to you and how it works for you. I think what's going to happen is you're going to get, Chris is showing you.
I always like to say this, because people will say, hey, can I cancel? And I know how frustrating it is to try and cancel something. And you're like, why can't I just cancel this already? So we make it super easy to cancel. You cancel online. You go to your account, just click on cancel your membership. You don't need to talk to us. You don't need to email us. You just go through that. It's an online process, and there's literally, it's online. It's easy. There's no questions. There's no hassle. But my hope is you actually go in here and say, wow, let me check out that training library that has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of topics. Maybe you need to learn about Instagram, or maybe you want to learn about, fine-tuning your online identity. I mean, there's literally hundreds of topics. I could scroll on here and go and start naming the topics, but we don't have time.
No, because we have more questions.
I got some good, look at this, real estate videos on Facebook. We did a bunch of stuff on video recently, because that's been a really important thing. Anyway, what's the next question?
Takaya says, you're not going to want to cancel. Well, thank you, Takaya.
Yay.
And then Gloria Washington says, holy cow, Batman, that's great. I think we're going to have fun with Gloria. Awesome. Okay, so next question. Sherry says, how much do Google ads cost? This is a great question, because I know when Google ads first came out, they were really affordable, and then prices skyrocketed. And then what's happening now?
So yes, if you don't know what you're doing, you can waste a lot of money. In fact, we did a training on doing Google AdWords, and I really wanted to make sure that I gave you guys a method for doing so that wasn't going to cost you a ton of money. Because here's the thing, here's the thing, I won't do this with our money. I will not try to buy on Google AdWords when people search homes for sale in Austin, Texas. I'm not going to buy that. I can't afford it.
Compete.
I can't afford it. And I don't even know how the people who are buying it are affording it. That's what worries me, is I worry that people are like driving the cost up of that tool without realizing what their real ROI on it is.
Right.
Now, here's what I will share with you. Can you run ads on Google for like 1 cent, 2 cents per view? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. In fact, that's why I love video ads right now so much. Using Google AdWords, and you could, I separated YouTube ads, but it uses the same ad platform. And when you're running YouTube ads, for example, I'm getting them in for 1 penny, one penny, and you only pay when someone watches that video for 30 seconds. I only pay when, so I love Google AdWords. Now, another very effective tool is using the display marketing. Google has made it super easy to be able to market to people who are in the market searching for real estate. They actually have an audience segment called In Market Moving, In Market Viewing Residential Real Estate, like all of these in-market things. So it's very, very easy to use if you know what you're doing. And so, yeah, you could end up spending $5, $10 per click if you don't know what you're doing, or you can do it very effectively. But here's the thing, it's all about right person, right message, right time. And so instead of just trying to do a broad marketing on homes for sale in Austin, Texas, that's where you end up losing your butt when it comes to Google Ads. So, one of the first ads I suggest that you do is, buy your own name. Make sure you buy your own company. When people are searching that, you're going to get it. If you've got like a really specific neighborhood, then take that specific neighborhood and then add a little bit of a long tail search. So for example, let's say you're in Westlake. Well, Westlake's expensive to buy for.
Sure.
I'll be straight up. If you're doing keyword purchases for Westlake, pretty expensive. But Westlake homes under $1 million with a pool, yeah, you're going to be able to afford that one. Or even pretty affordable right now is Westlake homes with a pool. Last time I looked. So,
and that's the thing, is that when people go to search on Google, you're not looking for Austin homes for sale. Like that's not what you type in. You type in, you know what? I know exactly what I want, and I'm going to get really specific.
Another way, so let's say, here's the thing. Let's say you ended up doing this. Let's say you can't do a coming soon campaign. So let me pull this up really quick. This is going to be fun, guys. I'm going to show you a little hack. All right. So where was it that I did this? I was talking about the I was talking about the property landing page details. So remember, I was talking about optimizing for SEO.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's say you can't do coming soon campaigns, and let's say it was either an expired listing, right? So it was already syndicated, and there's no way you're going to be able to search engine optimize. What you can do in Google is buy the address. Just buy all the search results for the address, and it'll be cheap. Trust me. If you buy the search results,
because it's so specific.
It's so specific, right? The people who are searching it for like really active buyers, it's going to be people who are like the owners, people in the neighborhood. And so that's a little hack to make sure your site is going to show up high up on those search results. So just a little tip with Google AdWords when you're trying to do that.
Awesome. All right. Next question we have is Josh says, do you pay for staging for your clients? That's a really good question, because as we were talking about staging and photography,
right.
No, we do not. And actually, in our training, we actually give you scripts and dialogues in order to use to show people how they are going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where, like, on that slide in my listing presentation, I would say, now, let's take a look at what happens when you professionally stage and take photographs. So here's what we're going to do, Chris, is I'm going to introduce you to a stager, and she's going to charge you about $1,400 to stage your house. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to bring my team in, and we're going to get professional photography and videography of your house, and that is going to help us really launch this. So it's an assumptive. I'm telling them that they're going to do it.
I imagine it's all about setting the expectation.
It is,
right?
Yeah.
Like, now, have you ever paid for staging?
Have I ever paid for staging? Gosh.
Have you ever made a concession?
I have, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes if they're really stuck on staging,
like let's say that they're interviewing somebody else, and this is like the one sticking point.
Yeah,
you make a concession.
I'll make a concession, but also what I'll say is, yeah, you know what, I'll pay for that up front. And let's assume that for any reason you decide to take your house off the market. Mm-hmm. Let's write in our agreement that you will reimburse me for those fixed costs.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's like, because why would I pay to have something staged if they later decide to take their home off the market? And this is part of the problem in real estate, is that we give, and we pay for all this stuff up front, and then they can back out at any time. Yeah. And so that's part of the thing that
one of the things that Gary does with our high-end listings is he actually charges a marketing fee, or what do you call it?
It's called an engagement
fee.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll collect $2,500, $5,000 from a client, depending on the price point of the home, as an engagement fee, because they need to commit to me more than just a signature on that listing, but I refund it to them at closing.
Gotcha.
And I've never had anybody say, well, I'm not paying an engagement fee. Mm-hmm. All of them look at it because, if they're wealthy, they have this savvy around it, and they're like, oh, that makes sense to me.
Right. And it's securing your efforts, because, also for a lot of your high net worth clients, they have a lot of options. So then putting the home on the market's like, put it, so like you have to make sure you're at least being compensated for your time there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Okay, Rudy, help Gloria out. Gloria signed up and she's having trouble logging in. So, Gloria, we will make sure that we help you out as soon as we can. I mean, our team is supporting us on this webinar, so they can't fix it right now, but they'll do it as soon as we're done. And Rudy just sent you a message. Terry says, Chris, what is your ad budget per listing? Does it vary by listing price?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be honest. For a lot of our investment, like when we market an investment property, the whole budget might be like $30. It doesn't require as much, for getting the views on those very affordable properties, because there's a lot of interest in those. Now, for the property, if we're marketing a listing that's $1 million in Austin, that's a high-end listing. I know there's a lot of markets where $1 million is like just getting started, but in Austin, that's an expensive property.
Yep.
I'm going to end up spending a few $100s, because I got to make sure that we can generate enough interest and traffic in all these different places.
That's so low, because do you know what I used to spend on every listing, regardless of the price of the home?
How much?
$500, because I would send out 500 just listed postcards to every single house around the neighborhood.
I mean, I'm going to spend probably $70-$80 in Facebook, probably another $70-$80 on Google AdWords, and then sort of miscellaneous. I might duplicate those because they are going to, a lot of our listings that are higher priced, they're going to be on the market a little bit longer, so I have to extend those. So I might do that per campaign. I think it's around like 300 seems to be what the average is on those.
My goodness, and the number of people, number of eyeballs you're getting on that website is incredible.
But we do put money into creating the creative assets for those, right? So in order to get that good quality video, you can make them like I shared with you, but when you're working with those higher end listings, you're going to want to take advantage of those listings and create a really good portfolio of work for yourself by having somebody come in and do a good video. Now that gets cheaper and cheaper all the time to have really good professional video done of one of your homes. But I suggest that you do it so you can pay for those 1 cent views and those 2 cent views on Google, and add those to your website and just constantly remarket that. It becomes like, it's like with those people who are graphic designers who showcase their body of work on your website then becomes your portfolio of work.
That's very, very powerful. Okay, quick shout out. Somebody said, hey, I joined. You didn't give me a shout out. So quick shout out to our newest members, Michael, Jim, Wade, Alex. That's ALIX. Very cool. Jorge, Elizabeth, Chad, Janet, Rob, Marcy, Thela, and Christine. Welcome to the club, everybody. If you have not joined, we want to make sure that you take advantage of this special opportunity that we're giving you. If you join today, and by the way, you get all of the things that Chris talked about with our club. You get our website, you get a monthly marketing campaign, you get scripts and dialogues for conversations, and you're also getting an 8-week marketing plan template. You can download that as soon as you sign up today. You're getting our Facebook marketing for real estate program. Normally $5.97, you're going to get that for free. And when you sign up during the webinar today, you're getting our 30-day sales action plan, which has helped me generate 3 clients in the past 3 days. So you want to walk them through that?
I was just going to show that we didn't really get to talk too much about the sales action plan, but it's really set up to just day by day have a specific activity. Now, you might not be able to do this in 30 consecutive days. If you're like me, you probably want to take the weekends off, so and maybe it might take you a few days longer to do some of the steps. So maybe it takes you 45. Doesn't matter. It's like 30 actual days of work that's involved here. And it's not like it's a full day of work. It's a couple hours a day each day. But you commit to doing these things and you do them consistently. If the first 45 days pass, keep repeating it. Consistency is the key here. All sales we know that consistency is the key. All sales it really boils down to keeping things consistent and doing these activities. Now, we make it a heck of a lot easier. When you join the club, you're going to get a lot of the resources that you need to implement this 30-day action plan. For example, you're going to get those monthly marketing campaigns that you can utilize to implement here. You're going to have a website and all of these things that you can do. But I always kind of joke around. I'll use a power word here. It always seems to me to be a miracle how these sales activities work. But Gary and I were talking. I was like, it's so weird to me, and maybe it's because I'm not as experienced in sales as you are. But it's always so weird to me how you do these types of things and you keep repeating, and then the opportunities just sort of to me they seem like they come out of nowhere. Maybe it's
magically appear,
right?
But there's no magic to it whatsoever. It's science.
It's like, but no, I do this, I do this, I do this. I hit wash, rinse, repeat, and I keep doing these things and that's what produces the business for me. Maybe because I don't have the cause and effect down. I'm like, I can't believe it. Another deal came through. I can't believe it. Another deal came through. And you're like, no, this is how it works.
Get used to it. This is the way it works. So So yeah, if you want all of these goodies, like I said, head over to the chat section, click on that hyperlink. I'm going to post it one more time there for everybody in the chat section, because I want to make sure that if you're even on the fence thinking about this, do yourself a favor. Give yourself a gift that is going to help you amplify your business as well.
And
Lisa says, do I get a website with this plan?
well, you get a what I call a marketing website.
Yes.
It's not a full IDX website. It's a marketing website. And I'll just show you the one that we have set up for Gary. Yours will look very similar.
Which, by the way, Chris, I want to share with everybody, it takes about 15 minutes to set your website up. It's so fast and so simple. Yeah, show them the blog article that we do for them too.
Yeah, so every month we post a new blog article, and it's professionally written. It's very thoroughly researched. This is very useful information for you to be able to share to your clients and to your database on a regular basis. And so we just put it on here. And one of the important reasons why is when people search for you, you want to make sure that you show up on the search results, right? So bang, number 2.
Right there.
And you want to make sure that you're showing up on the search results. And then when they do find you, you want to make sure that your website, a lot of our clients didn't have websites prior to this. So that was why we created it, because they didn't have a website. We wanted to make sure that it was always being updated. So, if someone goes to your website and the last blog article you had on there was from 6 months ago, they wonder, they fill that in with the worst possible thing, which is, I wonder if they really sell that much real estate, right? And even though it's just a freaking blog article, but that's the way it looks. It looks like that painter's house. Their own house is not painted, and people make a judgment on it, right? So this is marketing. This is our website. We're marketing real estate. So they're going to put like, oh, wait a minute, their website doesn't look so hot. They're not even keeping it up to date. I wonder how well they're going to market my home. And that's what we're trying to prevent, is that thought from taking place, because we don't want to have any, it's all about building trust. And anything we introduce that like erodes a little bit of that trust is bad. So we want to make sure we have a good looking website. And you might already have a website, which is fine. Don't replace your existing website with this. Just make this complement your existing one.
Yeah, just supplements it. And Marcel says, please tell us more about the marketing campaign. That's a great question, because you want to show them the details of the marketing campaign?
I shall. So I wish I had the most, I guess I can just go get it. I'm just going to go grab the most recent one. Is that cool? Instead of that I had that other one there,
but Chris is basically showing you how to get your marketing campaigns.
You know what? I can't get, because they're going to post the most recent one for August on Monday, but I can go grab the one from July.
Perfect.
So that's still fairly recent. So you would come in here, and I'm just going to download the most recent campaign, go here, and open that up. And here's what you're going to get. You're going to download this. You can't see it, so I'm going to open up some of these things. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to this thing. You can't see it on the screen, but you'll see this thing called support file. First thing you're going to do is you're going to open that up. Okay, this is your monthly marketing campaign. If you're a client on here, by the way, if you just signed up, you're going to want to download this and put this to work right away. And it's just taking a minute to open up the support file doc. Okay, so in here is going to be all the instructions. There's a table of contents. This is the instructions on what to do. A new one is produced every single month. You'll see there's a little action plan of everything that you need to do and how long it's going to take you, okay? So all of these steps are built out, and this is telling you what to do. And then the rest of that file is going to contain all of the assets that you'll use. So let's take a look at the report here. So this is the PDF report that you can send out. There's instructions on how to customize this with your name and your information. And so that's all included in here. And all of the social media posts are in there. So you've got, there's a blog post. Now we post a blog post for you, but if you have another website, you can copy and paste the blog post, put it in there. Let's see, what else do we have in here? There's a calendar telling what day to do what. I mean, we really make this, super easy. Just follow the instructions.
Then we like paint by numbers.
Right. There's an Instagram post for you to use. There is a LinkedIn image if you want to post onto LinkedIn. There is a LinkedIn post if you want to post an article on LinkedIn. There's a Pinterest image. And another feature that I don't know, I guess I just forgot to mention it. Another feature that's included with the club is you can send an e-newsletter version of this through our marketing suite. So our club has this marketing suite function.
Yeah, if you're familiar with MailChimp, we've made it as close to MailChimp as possible.
Yeah.
You basically you upload your database, kind of like you do into MailChimp, and you go and you select the campaign you want to send, you click on it, and you send it.
Yep. So here's a preview of what the newsletter looks like. And then you just click on use newsletter. You'll have your database uploaded, and then you can put a short introduction, you can drop a little bio on there, and then you would click on send campaign. And so super easy.
Yep.
And it looks great.
Awesome.
And like literally a few clicks and you can have e-newsletters going out with the same content. And that all that's included, by the way. That's not extra. That's when you join the club, that tool is included with it.
Yeah, and by the way, like stuff like MailChimp, that stuff's not cheap.
No, yeah, I think because it's based on how many emails that you send
And
right?
how many contacts
and
you
how
have.
many contacts that you have. And so ours, it's all just included,
It's
at
included
that
in
rate.
$67. So if this is something that you're like, I got to try this, I got to check this out, go over to the link, sign up right now, because I want to make sure you get this before we end our Q&A session. Next question I have here is, Elena says, do you send the marketing plan after the first call by email? Yes, I do. So I send it by email. I also send them links to different videos so they can see our marketing plan and what we do. And then when I show up with them, they're already prepared. Here's the reason why, is that the name of the game in sales is building trust. So the more I can have my clients trust me faster, the more I have a chance of securing that business. And so if I just give it all to them in the beginning, before they meet with other agents, before I even meet with them, what's going to happen when I show up to that appointment?
They're going to trust you. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
Is when I was working with Brian Buffini, one of the things that he would always share is that the key to building trust is for you to show and demonstrate your character and your competence.
Right.
So when you give your property marketing plan in advance, one, that shows your character. I'm generous. I'm not concerned. I'm generous. I'm just going to give this to you.
Yep.
It's going to show your competence because it shows you what you do. It shows them what competence you have.
Yep.
And so that's why a tool like this, a tool like your property marketing plan or 8-week marketing plan, is so effective at being able to build that trust, because it's really addressing two issues, which is here's my character, here's my competence, and now all of a sudden they're going to look at you. Upon receiving that and reviewing that, they view you differently than before you sent it.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So when I show up to the house, you know what they say? I feel like I already know you. And so if you have that, what that says is, well, hopefully that's a good thing, right? Hopefully that's a good thing. I don't know. And sometimes I joke around. I'm like, gosh, I hope that's a good thing.
Yeah, we'll send them to our YouTube channel to go check things out. People oftentimes like, I mentioned video being really important and stuff. Let me see if I can pull our YouTube channel up without too much static here. So I highly encourage people now to take the time to build out a YouTube channel. And why is that so important? Well, you can see from our YouTube channel, we got lots of videos on there. We do a lot of stuff on here. But check this out. So here's a video that I have on YouTube, and it says how many people we saw. 3,146 people viewed this video, right?
That's awesome.
And so we dropped this video. There's a call to action to go visit our website. So if they wanted to search homes for sale, and here's what it does is, because of what we're doing on these videos, and you can always just go to YouTube, search Gary Kreth, Chris Scott, you'll find it. You can subscribe to it and see what videos that we're putting on there as we update it. But because we're providing real estate expertise on these videos, we're sharing our knowledge. People view it. They go to Gary. They're like, I feel like I know you. They have the property marketing plan. They're like, I see what you're going to do for me. It's like a done deal by the time you show up, right? Just don't say anything bad when you show up there, and you should have that listing appointment in the bag, so to speak.
All right. Next question is a couple of questions about the lifestyle map. Mandy said, how do you get the lifestyle map? And Elena says, do you do a screenshot of the map, or is there a way to do it from Google Maps? So yeah, you go in, you create the Google map, you pin all these locations, and you can name that map, and then you get the embed code, and you embed that map on your website.
There's a lot. If you're using our site, if you're using our marketing site, all you have, it'll automatically create that lifestyle map for you, which is a nice thing. But yeah, you can go to Google, go to map, and then what you would do is you go to Google Maps. And
I
also,
had no idea. So our system does this for them?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you don't have to do anything.
Well, I mean, when you go in here and you look at a listing, right? So that's all. They don't do anything. That just drops it right in there. Okay.
There you go.
Now you can go in there and you go to Google Maps, and what you can do is you come over here. This is a little tricky, so you got to come over here and you have to go to. I think it's your places, and when you click on your places, you'll be able to start pinning and creating a map. There's another easier way to do this that Gary will do. It's kind of I won't call it the lazy way. I'll call it the easy way.
No,
He'll take his iPad. He'll just take a screen. He'll do a map on his thing, take a screenshot, and then just mark up like this is here, this is here, this is here. Here you go. And it works just the same.
It
So it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit faster, and so like I get it, because part of his listing presentation, sometimes if he doesn't know the area all that well, he'll be like, hey, so what's good in this area? I'm just going to create a quick lifestyle map, and then bang, there's some marketing material that you can use.
Yeah, I have the client participate with me in creating that lifestyle map. They love it, and they get to see how we're going to do things differently. All right, Nancy has a question. How do you label a YouTube video?
How do I label a YouTube video? Well, I'll be honest with you. It is all right. So I'm going to try and do this quickly, but I'm going to show you very quickly how to do this, but I'm going to point out in our training library, there is there's 2 trainings that you're going to want to watch in that training library. The first one is the how to create and promote your YouTube channel, and then the other one was how to run a just listed campaign. Start with this how to create and promote your YouTube channel. Watch this one. It's in that training library that I pulled up earlier with the hundreds of topics. That one's in there. Watch that first, because I'm going to show you exactly when you're creating a post what to do, right? So when you're posting a video, I'm going to show you exactly what to do, because it's really important when you post a video on YouTube is to follow, make sure this whole section right here, I'm going to highlight it real quick. How do I? Make sure that you're using the template that I provide. Like, it's very important, because the video search engine, the video SEO they call it, is super simple, but it relies on you doing it correctly, and it's only what's in here. Like, all you have is this, and then on some of the advanced settings for it. So you want to do that, but I'll give you a quick, when you upload the video, you'll be able to create a title for that video. That's where that title is going to display when I embed that onto our property landing page. But you don't want to just stop there. And you can see the title right here for ours, and you can always change the name of that. But that's what's going to show up. When you embed that, when you embed that on a web page, that'll show up in that top left-hand corner. But very important, one, that you have links to your website. Now, you can't just drop links in here. So you need to make sure you follow my setup process so that you verify your YouTube channel so that you can add links to your videos and to your video pages. So make sure you do that. Then you want to make sure that you're using the keyword strategy that I talk about, which is don't keyword stuff, but use natural language of the things that you're going to see in here. And you'll see that if you read mine that I talk a little bit about what's in the video, and then I'm a little bit repetitive of what I say, and then I have a little bio in there about us so that when people search for us on YouTube, that's the stuff that's going to show up. So that's the method. But definitely go to that training where I show, I think it's right here. Let me go back. thepaperlessagent.com. You'll go to the dashboard. You access your marketing campaigns here, your marketing websites under Agent ID site. That marketing suite is where you send that newsletter. The coaching club is where you access the training library. Under the resource library, I think it's going to be, it's this first one right here, how to create and promote your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so Nancy, there you go. When you sign up today, go there and you can learn all about that.
So I've got resources, there's checklists, there's resources, and then a bunch of video training. You just click on the lesson topics below, and it'll take you through the video instruction on how to use and how to create that YouTube channel and start promoting it.
Yeah. So you can get all of that when you sign up today. A quick shout out to our newest members, Anna, Gary, Clifford, Brian, Peggy, Mark, Martha, Denise, Richard, Prudence, Jasna, Joan, and Christine. So welcome to the club, everybody who has joined us today. I do know that it says the offer will end soon, I'm going to leave that up for a few minutes, but I do want to let you know that, gosh, we're out of time. We really appreciate all the time that you've spent with us. We hope you found this as valuable as our coaching club members and our newest members do as well. Like I said, if you want this opportunity, don't let the day get away from you. Go click on that link right now and join us in the coaching club.
I do. I want to thank you guys. Thank you for our new members. Thank you for our returning members on here. Every time, one of the things I love about what we do, Gary, is that just by sharing this information, it makes us better at what we do in our own real estate practice. You know, and so thank you guys for making us better, because I already saw as I was going through this, I was like, I want to update that. I want to change that. Maybe I want to test this in our own property marketing plan and how we're going to market some of these new listings. And you know what I'm going to do? When we run through that process, I'm going to share with you what I did on one of our next future coaching sessions.
Yeah. Speaking of coaching sessions, this week we had one of the most powerful, informative, amazing, magical coaching sessions
announcing
I know that we've ever had. So when you join today, you're going to get that. That should be uploaded into the system by Monday or Tuesday of next week. So you're going to get all of that. So don't hesitate.
That's a good one. One of the things that we covered in yesterday's training that will be posted on Monday or Tuesday is how to deal with in a circumstance that you probably have is just like us, which is I got these buyers, but I don't have inventory. There's no homes. And so I'm kind of I'm sitting and waiting for this, for action to take place. So we gave a bunch of strategies on how to combat that very issue that many of us have in many markets where there's more demand than there is supply.
Yep. All right, go join the coaching club. Gloria said, thanks, guys. Let's have fun. Don't worry, Gloria. You're in the right place for that.
Excellent. All right. Should we wrap things up, Gary?
Let's wrap things up. So much gratitude to you. You guys have a wonderful day.
We'll see you online. Take care. Bye.